just make sure everything is prepared and let people get in now that it's live. Okay, guys, so I'm going to go over this. This is the onboarding page that we built. It's not up on the site yet because we wanted to really just nail the design and be able to present it first. The goal is to get it up on the site next week so we can start using it to allow influencers to create referral links. And as you guys can see, it has some info about the game. We have a little tutorial video which we're still putting together, but it should be good to go when it's actually up on the site. It has a demo of gameplay. It has a link to our documentation, and I think most importantly, at least for the onboarding side of things, it has a little explanation of our referral system, and it has a way to generate referral links. So the referral model is very strong. It's something that it's a level above any kind of referral system we've ever done, but it's not only competitive with the current centralized model, it's a major improvement on the centralized model. So let me go from the start. So the goal is to be able to use this as a marketing tool, and once the game is live, for a way to essentially allow people to easily access the game. So right here we have PiggyPlinko. PiggyPlinko is a decentralized, immutable, on-chain crypto game where users drop pucks into the Animal Farm pegboard and win a prize multiplier when it lands in a bucket at the bottom of the board. Utilizing a robust and reliable Chainlink VRF, verifiably random function, makes PiggyPlinko a verifiably random game. This provides players with provable fair outcomes, which is impossible to corrupt. So we're using the same cryptographic proofs, which are allowing for blockchain technology to exist, and in fact, it's the same. Roughly the same technology that is allowing military security to work, and really the highest level of encryption is what we're utilizing to prove that our games are fair. And because our model has a gameplay UI design that is just as strong, if not stronger, I believe it's stronger than the centralized competitors, and a verifiably fair gameplay, this alone puts us miles ahead of any of the competition, right? Because you can look at what the centralized competitors are claiming, and they may claim that they have a 5% house edge, right? Because this is, for example, Stake. They are claiming a 5% house edge. That's basically the standard across the space, right? We have no way of proving that. And they have no legitimate way to prove it as well. So being able to prove not only what the house edge is, what the player's edge is, but also the fair outcome of the games is something that only we offer. And because the work that we put into this to make it as efficient and as fast as possible, to be able to have a user experience that's better than the centralized model, is something that would be very difficult to recreate, even if someone was to have our contracts. And then on top of this, something which no one can recreate and take from us is our ecosystem as a whole and our community. That's something that even if someone was to just take our open source contracts and decide that they're going to copy them, it would be the game in a vacuum, which would not work because of the way that we have integrated our game into the ecosystem as a whole. So we have something that not only gives us a major first mover advantage, also something that is extremely difficult to replicate, right? And essentially impossible to replicate fully. So when the game itself is live, people will be able to click play, and it will take them directly into the game. Now, we will have very shortly a test net where we will allow a limited test group to be able to come in and click here and play on a test net. We don't want to do a fully public test net just because we want to save the excitement of the gameplay for launch, right? For mainnet. But of course, like all of our projects, we do have extensive testing, and this is going to be more so than any other testing we've done in the past because we just have that much more experience, and we have a dedicated team specifically to testing. So in this case, we have our core team, which we've brought on to build PiggyPlinko and a suite of other games that we've already started working on. And their goal is specifically to build out the functionality of the game and the UI experience. We have another team which are acting as advisors and testing. So we have a team exclusive to testing and quality control, and we have a team exclusively to building the core functions of the game. And then, as always, we will also have a test environment where we'll allow most likely DAO members, right? Because DAO members are a select group of people that we can rely on that will keep things in-house. And it's just a really easy test group that we know that will show up and will deliver. We can likely offer some testing spots outside of the DAO group as well, but the DAO group gives us like a test group of hundreds of people that we can go to, and if there's some small little thing that we need to adjust or whatever, we know that they'll deliver it to us. So okay, that's that. Now we have the watch, learn, and play, and this is what we're having made right now, and it's a tutorial that will have displaying not only gameplay, but how to use the settings, the advantage of the settings, the advantage of base mode versus dog mode, which I believe we're going to end up calling pig mode and dog mode. Now, there are some things that I have not discussed yet that are major game-changing mechanics that we've added to the variance between dog mode and pig mode, or base mode and dog mode. And it adds a whole nother level of strategy, which allows users to utilize all of the settings that we already discussed and essentially implement them into a whole different gameplay, so to speak. And I'll get into what I mean by that. It's not currently displayed in this fully, and it's because we just put the bow on the specific mechanics relative to pig mode versus dog mode outside of the 10% bonus that we already spoke about. So this demo here does show pig mode gameplay and dog mode gameplay and the difference between the two as of our development from 2 weeks ago. In the past 2 weeks, we've come up with another variance between pig mode and dog mode that is very attractive because it gives a major benefit to both modes, and it's up to the user to decide which mode that they prefer. and it adds a level of strategy that was otherwise not available. So let me show right now how we're displaying these two demos. So as you can see here, gameplay, check out the short clips below to see a player adjust their settings and active gameplay. So for someone that wants a full tutorial, they'll be able to click here and they'll be able to watch 5 to 10 minute tutorial. This right here is just a quick shot of the gameplay for people that don't want to sit through a tutorial but still want to get an idea for what the gameplay looks like. As you can see here, it says watch, learn, play. Watch this tutorial video for a glimpse into the basics of how PiggyPlinko works, right? And we're contracting out a content creator who makes specific whiteboard style tutorial videos right now. So that will be wrapped up soon, and we would like that to be live when this goes up on the site. But as of right now, you can see here, gameplay. Check out the short clips below to see how a player adjusts their settings and active gameplay. So you click on this. Right? And it shows the demo that you guys have already seen. Alright, so I don't know if that audio came through. I hope it did. We spent a lot of time working on the audio just to make it really hit everything that you want to hit with this kind of game. So, as you see, it essentially shows a player switching between the various row setting selections and then allowing gameplay to go. Now, the gameplay works in a way where you choose the amount of rows you want. You choose the risk variance, which determines how the multipliers are distributed. And what it does is adjust it where the lower risk settings have higher multipliers in the middle. So if you do land on a multiplier that is going to be essentially a losing multiplier, the loss will be less. And it reduces the size of the peripheral multipliers, so the higher end prizes are also less. So this essentially adjusts the risk. So if you land on a losing slot, it will be less of a loss, and that obviously has the benefit of removing a bit of risk, and that is happening by adjusting the larger size prize tiers. Now, you can choose a higher risk model, and what this does is it takes the multipliers in the center and it moves them to the outside. And this means that if you land on a losing slot, it will be slightly more impactful, but if you land on one of the external slots, the prizes are much larger. So you can choose between the amount of rows, how the multipliers are distributed between the rows. You can choose the amount that you want to wager. You can choose how many rolls or how many pucks you want to drop based on one wager. So you can decide, hey, I want to drop one puck and bet 100 BUSD on this one puck. Or you can say, I want to do 50 pucks and bet 100 BUSD on these 50 pucks. And that's going to determine the volatility and the variance in your outcomes. Of course, if you're doing a wager across many pucks, you're going to get a wider distribution of results. And this allows for for strategies to be built. Now, on top of that, we have a take profit and a stop limit. So, in case you decide, I want to drop 50 pucks, I want to wager 100 BUSD, and I want to stop the wagering if my 100 BUSD balance gets under $80, and I want to stop the wagering if my BUSD balance gets to $150. This way, you have a model where it's going to automatically continue to wager for you until those 50 pucks have been dropped, or you've won 50 BUSD, or you've lost 20 BUSD. And this allows you to create a risk-reward ratio and automate it, which is very powerful. And this is something that's unique to our platform when considering all of the other options that you can utilize to build such prolific strategies. This is not available anywhere else. Now, this second video here shows switching to dog mode. Now, by the time this goes up, there's going to be a more significant difference between the two of these modes, and I will get into the difference in a couple minutes after I show this dog mode video. So, and I know it's relatively small on the screen right now, but this is a presentation, right? It'll be more easier to see when you're actually on the browser and you can zoom in and all of these things. But let me switch over to dog mode and make this go live here. Also, this kind of buffer loading that happens as I click on it, this is just because we're on a test domain, and that's just how it works. But when this is up on the main domain, there will not be any kind of buffering or anything like that. Okay, so you see here, when dog mode is selected, all of the multipliers increase by 10% across the board, which means if you land on a lower multiplier, you're going to still get 10% more, and if you land on a higher multiplier, you're going to get 10% more. And that's massive, because it means if you land on a slot, which is essentially a losing slot, you're going to lose 10% less. And if you land on a higher slot, you're going to earn 10% more, and so you'll lose 10% less if you land on a losing slot, and you'll win 10% more if you land on a winning slot. And that can be massive, right? Because say you bet, you wager 100 BUSD, and you land on the 70x slot, right? That's going to be $7,000 plus a 10% bonus multiplier, which means you just increased your prize by $700 just by playing on dog mode, right? And the difference between pig mode and dog mode that we have just put a bow on, but have not been able to capture it in video yet, is an improvement that we made to pig mode to also give a basically a major selling point for both modes. And what that is a bumper that will be placed in one of these rows. We're looking at most likely the fourth row down, but we have it's flexible on that, but most likely the fourth row down, where the fourth or fifth, where we'll be putting a angled bumper. So right now, when these dogs and pigs land on the pins, they have a essentially 50-50% shot of bouncing to the left or to the right. It's completely random. And what we are doing with pig mode is two of the pins, one on the left side and one on the right side, will be slightly angled. And what that means is when the puck hits that pin, it will have a greater chance of landing to the outside, which means it has a greater chance of landing on one of the higher prize tiers. So the difference between dog and pig mode are, in dog mode, you get a 10% bonus across all of the multipliers, which is a massive incentive to play on dog mode. But if you choose to play on pig mode, you have a greater chance of winning or a greater chance of landing on a higher prize side. So there's a major selling point to both modes. And the reason why we did this is because we want to have a very obvious selling point to dog mode and a very strong incentive. So people who are coming on that are not aware of our ecosystem and people who are a part of our ecosystem and a part of our community have an obvious incentive to play in dog mode, right? It's just very visible. 10% bonus across the board. And that's very attractive, and that makes a major, major impact in the long run. But we don't want people who are coming on to essentially see, okay, I could play in pig mode, I could play in dog mode. If I play in dog mode, that means I need to learn the ecosystem, and there's that whole barrier there of them having to learn about it. And people may come on and they just, well, I know for a fact, people are going to come on and they're just going to want to play. The same people that will be playing on these centralized models are going to be attracted to our model because of all the extra mechanics and the better edge that we're giving them and the provable fair games that we're giving them and the better referral structure and the fact that we're sharing more profit with them relative to any of the competition. And we're going to have the big streamers coming on, driving people to here. So there's going to be plenty of people that are coming on that are very inexperienced with DeFi and may feel a bit intimidated by dog mode because they need to learn. And we don't want them to say, oh, well, I could play in dog mode and get the 10% bonus, but that means there's a knowledge barrier there. I got to do research. I just want to play. And we don't want them to then say, but I don't get a bonus in pig mode. So the selling point is on pig mode, you have a greater chance of winning a larger prize. So there is a clear incentive to dog mode, but there are positives to both, which make both extremely attractive. And when you consider that in both modes, no matter how you play, you're getting a better edge as a player relative to any of our competition. So that alone, the fact that we're giving a better edge to the players relative to any of the competition, and that our games are verifiably fair, and our UI experience is on par or better than any of the centralized models, this alone is going to drive players to us. When you add in everything else, it just really seals the deal. And I'm going to get into what some of these other things are. These are all things that are new. These are all things that we've been working on over the past 2 weeks. And it's very important that you guys are patient with this, because as you guys can see, every week we're delivering more. And every week we're making something. So previously, we've been doing a ton of work, right? A ton of work. But the updates have largely been me coming on and telling you what we've been doing. And now that we're closer to launch, right, we're switching it up, where now every week we're going to have a major public display of what we've done and a major step closer to launch. And we know that we need to get this out quick. We know that the community is waiting for it. But you guys have to understand that what we're building is huge, right? We're going to revolutionize DeFi gaming, specifically with this kind of game, which is the kind of game that actually attracts more capital than any other kind of game in centralized models or in DeFi. And we just need to get it right. So, although we know that we need to get it out and we need to get it out soon, we're going to take our time and we're going to do it right, because when it lands, it's going to blow everything else out of the water, right? So we're asking for patience and grace from the community, and for that patience and grace, we're going to ensure that we do a major public display every week of what we've accomplished in that week, and have something greater that the community can engage with, right, to actually be able to more better, saying more better, obviously, anyways, to allow them to have a greater preparation for launch. And what that's going to look like is more information, better documentation, ways to do referrals and to start setting up your referrals now, the ability to try a testnet model, the things that we're showing now going up on the site to allow you to engage with it. Every week we will be one step closer to launch, and with the bit of grace that you guys will give us, we will be able to do so much more. And what there's a lot that I'm referring to when I say so much more, including the gameplay changes that I just made. But one major thing is the referral and affiliate marketing program. This is very big, guys, right? This is, I believe this is going to be really, I believe this and the verifiably fair game are going to be what takes us over the top, right? And then the profit share with the community in the Pigpen, and dog mode, which is driving capital into AFD, which in turn increases the price of AFD while driving BNB and BUSD to the dog pound and the Pigpen from the taxes associated with that AFD. So we're supporting the price of AFD. We're giving a new major utilization for AFD and the AFP token, and we're creating a major cash flow for the dog pound and the Pigpen, with a specific focus on the Pigpen through the 40% profit share. But I would say a equally powerful support of the AFD token, which in turn supports both the dog pound and the Pigpen. So it's very powerful, guys. Now, and I'm going to try to keep this video relatively brief because we're going to be using this as a promotional tool. So that's why I just want to keep the talk specifically to this and keep it relatively concise while going over everything that we need to go over. So, the referral and affiliate marketing program. PiggyPlinko has an aggressive referral and affiliate marketing program that includes profit share from downline referrals, rakebacks, and reloads. So, what I mean by a downline referral program, what that looks like is when you refer somebody, any profit that they generate for the platform is shared with you. And what I mean by downline referrals is it does not just stop at the person that you refer, right? There will be a couple downline levels that will allow you to also earn a smaller percentage from the people that your direct referrals onboard. And this encourages you to not only do a lot of direct referring, but be able to guide your team and guide your community on how they can better refer people and actually get an incentive to do it. Actually make some additional capital and earn additional digital assets for doing it. And because it's a model that is sharing profit that the platform generates, it's not a model that can be exploited like some of the other crypto referral systems could be. So self-referring is going to have no benefit, especially when I talk about some of the other mechanics such as rakeback and reload, which I'll get into. And it does not, like some of the other referral systems in crypto, rely on inflation or even taxes. It's a share of the profit that you specifically generate for the platform through onboarding new users goes directly to you. And that's a better model than what even Decentralized people are doing because it's more fair. It allows for a greater profit share. It allows you, the influencer or the streamer, to have more direct impact on your ability to earn by coaching the people that you're onboarding to be able to do a better job at themselves referring users. And it's fair. because you're actually earning a share of what you're generating for the platform. Now, rakebacks and referrals, what are those? A rakeback is when you earn a percentage of any funds that you lose. And this comes into play whether you're up in profit or not, right? Because the way the game works is you're going to be doing a bunch of rolls. You're going to be dropping a bunch of pucks. Some of them will land in slots that are not profitable. Some of them will land in slots that are profitable. Even if you've landed in slots that are majority profitable, you will still get a rakeback from the slots that were not profitable. And this allows you to have more to play with, essentially. So that is what a rakeback is. And a reload is when you get a benefit from essentially loading up your redepositing into your balance. And again, that is based on your gameplay, but also your referrals. So I go into that a little bit in the next paragraph. So all users will be able to share their referral link that can be generated below. And as you can see, you see generate referral link. When you click that generate referral link, it populates that area like you see there with a referral link that you can then share. And this is not exclusive to streamers. This is not exclusive to influencers. Anybody can do this, which really is the ethos of DeFi, right? We want everybody to be able to get involved. And this is something that none of the centralized competitors offer, right? You need to be an influencer. You need to be someone with a specific social status that is recognized by the platform to be able to benefit significantly from referrals in any of the other models. Through the power of DeFi and through the power of the blockchain, we can allow anybody to do it. Because instead of having to rely on a strict, centralized managerial system, we can pass that managing to the contracts and allow the users to call all those functions and implement all of those on their own, which is something that, again, only we offer. Now, on top of all users being able to generate their own referral link, that will allow them to start generating profit from their downlines immediately at launch, the player accounts are based on a tier system. So there's a bronze, silver, gold, and platinum tier system. As you actively play and refer, you're increasing your score, which can move you up to the next tier, unlocking higher rakebacks and higher reload benefits. So as you play, you're gaining essentially XP points, right? Experience points, which are knocking you into higher tiers of play, which allow you to increase your ability to get rakebacks and reloads, as I just explained what rakebacks and reloads are. So it's not only the amount you play that allows you to increase your tier, but also how active you are with referring, right? So, and of course, it's not strictly based on how many accounts you refer, because that is a system that people could exploit, right? It's based on how many accounts you refer, but specifically the actions that those accounts take and the amount of profit that they generate for the platform, which removes the incentive for doing self-referring and all of those models. On top of that, because you get rakeback and reloads from doing legitimate gameplay and legitimate referrals, you will be able to earn more through that than you would through self-referring. So between the fact that the incentive structure is built where you would earn more through doing legitimate referrals and having those legitimate referrals do legitimate gameplay, and the fact that these rewards are only paid out if profit is generated from the platform, it makes it impossible for users to exploit. And we know that this is a system that works very well because this is similar to the centralized model, but we're able to do it in a much more powerful way through the power of DeFi. We will also be directly targeting streamers and influencers by allowing them to share referral codes with their community that will grant instant access to higher tier accounts. So bronze, silver, gold, platinum accounts, right? And these will be exclusive, time-limited promos that they'll be able to share with their community, and we'll be able to use these to directly target those large influencers who are maybe already promoting for a major platform or are doing some other kind of gaming on stream that would be a great fit for us. And not only can we offer them these benefits to coming onto our model, we also have a budget that we can use to get some of the really big streamers and influencers on board, where we can say, hey, play our game on stream for this many hours for this month, and we'll be able to give you this budget, plus you'll be able to share a referral code and earn from your downlines, right? So we are able to provide a very, very strong incentive system to get on streamers and influencers that are really the lifeblood of these kinds of games. And you know that because some of our centralized competitors are paying millions of dollars a month to influencers. And why and how do they do this? They did this by first paying them to play for a limited period of time with an agreement, and then the system sustains itself through the referral model. And we're going to do the same exact thing, but in a much more powerful way, because we have a much more powerful and involved and fair referrals and affiliate marketing structure through the power of DeFi and through the power of just learning from their experience and being just better developers, honestly. So we are going to be targeting the largest influencers in the space, and we already know that that works well, and we're going to take full advantage of it. Now, as I've said before, we have a plan to launch 6 other games, and what that will look like, and the reason why we're going to be able to get those out relatively quickly is because the referral system, the way that it integrates into our ecosystem, the profit sharing mode, the bankroll, all of those things have been built to be plug and play, which essentially allows us to take any of the other games that we've prepared and just plug them right in, and they work. So that means that we just have to prepare the game contracts, which has largely already been done, and build out the UI for them. But other than that, all of the groundwork that we've laid over the past couple months will allow us to launch all of the other games very soon. And then what our plan is to be able to more easily and directly reach some of the people that are not interested or do not understand DeFi and maybe be intimidated by DeFi. Once we have 3 or 4 games, maybe 5 games, but once we have a nice suite of games, we're going to launch a separate domain which does not have the farm pages on it or Pigpen or any of the other things, and it will be a domain just strictly focused towards the games. But it will still profit share with the Pigpen. So this is how we will remove any of the intimidation that goes along with DeFi and be able to reach a larger audience while still supporting Animal Farm and still supporting our native assets. So this is going to be very, very powerful, and I believe this is going to be the biggest onboarder, and it's going to be rocket fuel for our ecosystem. I really think that we can take a huge market share from these centralized competitors, because what we're offering is just better, more fair, and the gameplay is there. So it's very, very, very exciting. What we're looking at to do next is most likely a poker game, right? So I know you guys are excited about that. Our team that we've prepared exclusively to build PiggyPlinko, that's their whole focus, is building out these games. So they're not working on anything else. Their whole job is just knocking out these games. And because of that, we're going to get them done very, very efficiently. So what else can I hit on that is specific to PiggyPlinko? I would say that you guys can start to share this video now. Start preparing for how you're going to build your teams, for how you're going to be sharing your referral link. Even though the game will not be live when this onboarding page goes up, you'll still be able to generate a referral link. Those referral links will be saved in the cookies of the site. So when it does go live, that data will be passed to the contracts. Man, guys, this is so exciting. There is a lot more I could go into, but I want to keep this relatively short and concise. And let me just say I did not go over this documentation. Now, the documentation, of course, needs to be updated with the details of the referral system and the adjustments we made to the gameplay here. So let me just show. When you click read more here, it takes you to the white paper, where you can review the white paper, as we've already done. People that are interested in this can go and look at our last live stream and be able to see all of the details of the white paper. We need to update it. I think that this white paper should have showed up on the screen when I just did that. Let me check. Yes, it did. Okay. I'm still getting used to doing these live streams in the way that we are. It's only the second one I've ever done. Yeah, guys, there's a lot more I could get into. We just had a meeting with Mario Nafal's team. He hosts the largest Twitter Spaces in the world with a specific focus on finance. We got invited to do his roundtable show, which is the largest financial show, Twitter Spaces in the world. We have a whole lot of major events like that are that are in the works, and we have put in so much time and resources to laying groundwork, and now it's starting to play out. As you guys saw, we were trending #1 for 3 hours on Twitter yesterday, and we were only able to do that with the support of the community, and you guys really showed out. I think as we continue to do these kinds of things, the show will be greater and greater every time, because you guys will see the benefit that it provides you directly as an owner of Animal Farm to be directly supporting your platform. Today, I just got informed that our Fiat on-ramp for AFP and AFD and BUSD and BNB is working. So now we only need to implement it to the site, right? So it's tied into PancakeSwap. It's working. So that's awesome because it allows people to buy AFP, AFD, BNB, and BUSD on our site with no KYC and play our games. And this is another big, big benefit that we offer because we are decentralized, because it's the users themselves that are hosting the game and playing the game and doing their own payouts, and because we're paying out in digital assets, right, not currencies, not money, it allows us to be more free, right? And that's what DeFi is all about, being more free. And some of these centralized competitors, they're not able to service people in Germany. they're not able to service people in various places. They have to do full KYC of people that are using their platform based on geolocation. With our model, because you're winning digital assets, because we have a very strong relationship with our current bank, people can come on and they can use their credit or debit without needing to KYC. And they can start playing right away without having to visit any other site, both buying in and cashing out. And on top of this, if someone wanted to go buy, say, a $500 prepaid credit card, you could do it completely anonymously. And we're looking right now at adding additional functionality to our on-ramp, which will allow people to essentially use our Fiat on-ramp to potentially buy into partner assets as well in a way that we benefit from. So we can offer that service to other platforms and be able to generate more cash flow to our ecosystem. So there's so much in the works, guys, and we have so much to offer. I appreciate you all for joining. It's very exciting. The goal is to get this all up for next week. We're gonna push hard to be able to do that, and we're gonna push hard to be able to release a major update every week until we're ready to go live. And we want to get this this launch date up by the end of the month, but we want you guys to be patient and give us grace, knowing and seeing the progress that we're making. So I appreciate you all, guys. I love you as a community, and we're all doing great work together. The work that you guys did yesterday was it made me so proud and so exciting. And I want to thank you all. So I'm going to end the stream now, and I'll be in the Telegram. Oh, guys, make sure you join the Telegram, right? All of that will be, I'll have to add all of that in the links. So, in the description, below. All right, thanks, guys. Talk to you later.